Did you know that the amount of importance that one pays to their breath actually controls their life in a very great way? Because let's face it directly. A human can live without food for a while, 2 weeks, 3 weeks, depending on situation and health levels. One can also live without water for several days, or probably a bit more, depending again on several factors. But without breath, one won't go too far. So, out of all the um transactions that the physical body is doing with the outside world, breathing would be the most important. Because everything in this world is a transaction. That's why I'm saying there is no such thing as independent beings. Independence and seeking independence is nothing else than ignorance. Because in this world, whatever you want, it will come from someone else. Even if you build things yourself, the resources you will still take from an external source. Even if you take from a forest, you are still making a transaction with that forest. You're giving some of your time and your energy, and you're taking something from that forest. And in this world, you will always consume more than you can actually give back. Take, for example, eating. You'll always eat more than you will put out. So if you don't burn through the food that you eat, it means that you're not justifying a part of the food that you're eating. So that is why some people actually grow fatter. When you drink more, again, an excess is always not a good thing. The problem is, well, with breathing is it's almost balanced. You can never breathe too much, right? And breathing deeply from the back of your spine is actually something very powerful because it allows for greater levels of awareness. Breathing softly, breathing in a very simple way, like we kind of end up, is an aspect of fear. It's an aspect of survival. It should only be done when a being is in a survival mode. We kind of live in a survival mode for the whole time because there's always something that happens emotionally, mentally, psychologically, and they're all perceived or made to be perceived as if they are threatening to our existence. So, if breathing is the most important thing that keeps you alive, well, as important as the others, but you can't survive without it for as long, well, the point about this is, if this is so important, well, it definitely has also other influences over your life. The way one breathes clearly shows how ignorant they are, because breathing in means taking in life force in a way, and breathing out means giving away certain things. You remember in meditation and other things, you breathe in thinking of certain ideas, or, well, theoretically in meditation you shouldn't be thinking about anything, but people say breathe in thinking about something, then breathe out thinking about things that would inhabit your reaching that level. So breathing is something that the body handles, right? The body that we have, the physical body, we can compare it in a way like a plant that we have in the house, right? When you have a plant in your house, you don't have to do anything for it. Just provide it with the correct soil, with the correct sunlight, the correct amount, the correct heat, and let's not forget about water, and it simply does its own work. You don't need to handle its cellular reproduction, its breeding, anything else. The physical body that we have, it's basically the same. All you need to do is take care a bit of the rest, and, well, also take care of the feeding process, right? And a few of other things, right? Like intake and outtake, right? Of food that, well, whatever goes in will also go out. So it doesn't need much maintenance apparently, but that is just the level that animals do. They just feed, they just sleep, and, well, they start all over. The physical body can be, taken at higher levels because breathing is done unconsciously by people. And this goes to show how unconscious they are living their life. In one's life, 95% of the processes are handled, by the body itself. If one chooses to handle consciously more of the processes, breath included, then they will have much greater enlightenment, right? They will actually feel much greater depths of the world, and they will start embracing that more and more, because ignorance is just like mm, it's just like an anesthetic. It just strips you away from life. It's a way of living life, but it just passes through you or passes by you. So breathing is very important, because if you choose to breathe unconsciously, it will always be a very simple breath. Breathing artificially, right? Or let's say superficially, actually, it's like you're neglecting life. It's like you're refusing life. Because when you breathe in, you're breathing in life force. So when it comes to breathing superficially, it just goes to show that you're rejecting life itself. So why are you alive if you're rejecting life itself, right? It is a very powerful thing, because if you breathe in a certain way, you will see your body reacts in another way. If you take care of your body and you become aware of how it functions, you will see that there are even breathing cycles. Usually there's a more powerful breathing on a certain nostril, and then at another moment of the day you will breathe more powerfully, or more importantly, through the other nostril. There are different cycles of the body, and well, the more one gets to know about them, who they are, their breathing, and their internal functions, the more fulfilled one can feel. All this being said, hopefully you appreciate this video. Hopefully this video was introspective enough. You are appreciated. Take care. Ferinjan Board signing out.